You see, we know the Fortuner, but we want to see today if the GR Sport trim level has changed it in order to make up for the price. My name is Eugene. Welcome to TVEC. This is the home of extravagant reviews.
Four liters of fuel. Eugene, you're paying for this.
3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. Okay.
And that's a big drop down.
A very big dropout.
And this is the 2025 GR Sport Fortuner.
But GR is it though?
I think it is, especially from the looks on the exterior and especially in black.
I love how this color is because not many cars come in black. And when they do come in black, do they look quite good?
And I'd correct that in one manner. Many cars come in black, but not many of you choose them in black.
That's the thing. Actually, yeah, I should have said that.
That is the problem.
I should have
Is
said
that all of you go and choose white and silver, and then you see white all over the roads everywhere, and then you look at a black car like this that is made to be slightly more aggressive, and it just looks fantastic.
It looks so menacing.
It does.
It looks so
and that's
menacing.
mainly because the GR Sport gets a lot of GR specifics
parts. Yeah.
for the exterior and the interior, which we'll get to in a bit.
Yeah, but starting off with the bumper, it is GR specific to this car.
Just as the GR Sport grille is on the car. So actually you can say that the bulk of the front end is all GRS specific.
Yes.
And you can't get that on a standard Fortuner. What you can get is these facelifted, beautiful DRL
Running
LED lights,
Yep.
as well as sequential indicators.
In a Fortuner, how did life get to this now?
That's how you know we're in 2025.
That's how you know it is 2025.
If somebody from the past, from 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, any of those years
Any of
came
those
to the
years.
future, they'd know they're in the future because these now have LED DRLs with sequential indicators.
Crazy.
Crazy thing.
Crazy.
But overall, I think the front end looks fantastic on this car. You've got all this aggressive lining all over the place that really suits the front end of it and suits the big monster of a car that it is.
Yes.
Now, the GR also gives it black on your side mirrors here. You get these black GR specific wheels that look really good.
Yeah.
They suit the aggressiveness of this car. You get a black footstool over here to get in the car, which is needed.
It does. Yes, you do need it.
You do need that
You do need
and
that.
the handlebars on the inside, because this is quite a big car to get in and out of. So if you're taking your granny and your family to the Kruger Park, you need those.
And you know, when this car came out, I was a little bit underwhelmed and I was a little bit just disappointed. But now that I see it in person, I'm a little bit more accepting of it.
You know what I think it was? I think that the GRS Hilux with the white fenders and the big tires, big wheels,
Yes.
it just looked like a mad Dakar car.
It
And
did.
we were expecting this to have wide arches and big wheels.
Yes.
And it didn't. But in black, because of the front end changes, the black accents, the big wheels,
Yeah.
it actually has a different form of sophistication to it, if I could call
That's
it
the
that.
word, sophistication. Yes.
And it just makes it look that much better than your normal Fortuner.
Yeah.
And the changes continue to the rear end.
yeah. And after that very long hike,
The very long arc, because this car is extremely long and it's uphill.
yeah. So you actually don't realize how long a Fortuner is until you stand next to one.
Yeah. And I have to say, standing next to it, especially at the rear end, the GR-ness continues in
It does.
really good ways.
Yeah.
Starting off with this beautiful GR spoiler that you have at the back here. You then also have a blacked out diffuser on the rear that helps diffuse air upwards like a building would.
Yeah, because it's on the bumper.
It's not under the car.
It's not under the
Like
car.
a normal diffuser. It's on the car.
It's on the car.
But I will say it doesn't matter. It's not a GR Corolla.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need diffusing. So it just looks cool. It adds to the fact that this is a GR product. It's a sportier product. That's why you also have blacked out badging for the Fortuner and 4x4 badging.
Yep.
You have the GR Sport badging there. And then continuing with the beautiful lights, you have the facelifted Fortuners, DRLs on the rear end here as well. So
So the back end does complement the whole car.
it does. It keeps the sophistication and that bit of sportiness that you need from the GR Sport badge.
And you know, now that we're back here, I do kind of dig the spoiler because
The spoiler's cool.
it kind of remind me of rallying in a way.
It does. It looks. They should have put this on a GR Corolla.
Why Toyota did you not put this specific spoiler on your GR product?
It's crazy. And then I have to also mention, you do have this darkened chrome accenting along the side of the car here, and the rear, obviously. And this continues on the inside. Now, one thing I would change about this car is I would add the GR Sport Hilux's big fenders.
They
I
just
think
look
that
so.
would just look cool.
It just looks like it's going into an apocalypse.
Yes, it looks like the king of Dakar.
It does look like a King of Dakar.
Like this with wide arches and big knobbly tires would just be sick. It'd be sick.
It'd be sick. Well, this is a cabin that feels new, but it's kind of stuck in the past.
It feels retro modern, if I could say it that way.
That's the word. Yeah.
That's what it feels to me. There's a lot of great things. There's a few things that I'm not the biggest of fans with that
Same.
feel outdated,
Same.
especially compared to its competition. But actually, I just saw you moving the seats, and that's where I will start, is with these seats that are actually electronically adjustable, which is a nice feature to have,
At least.
especially in a Toyota at R1,000,000.
Oh, unfortunately, it's R1,000,000. Oh.
And the next thing about the seats that I really like is that you have the suede ventilated center with this red stitched leather on the outsides here. They are quite nicely bolstered, not too bolstered as if like a sports car or hot hatch.
Yeah, it's a
So
fine.
it's a nice bolstering and it supports you really well, and the seats feel really comfortable overall,
And
which
they
is great.
actually say GR in the headrests.
Yes, which is really cool. And that's not where the GR ends. Now, you don't only have 2 GR badges on the side, 1 GR on the front, 1 GR on the back, 2 on these headrests.
Mhm.
You also then have a GR badge here on the steering wheel, as well as a Gazoo Racing badge. For those of you who didn't know what GR stands for, it stands for Gazoo Racing. It is the racing team
Of
from-
Toyota.
Of Toyota.
Yes.
And you've got another sticker here that is also really nice to have, as well as this weird carbon fiber looking trim, which is quite cool. And then again, you have this continued darker chrome almost trim line throughout the car, as I mentioned on the outside, which is continued on the inside.
And on the dashboard right here, it's actually leather.
It's leather,
It's leather.
as well as on these side things here, with red stitching, which is really nice. And one small element that I really like about this car, with attention to detail, is actually that there's a little button here that says Fortuna on it, and you press it to get your secondary glove compartment.
Yeah,
Because
that's,
you have 2 there.
that's very good attention to detail.
It's really good.
Now, we have to speak about how old this cabin is, though.
Yes, there's some things that really date it. For instance, like this gear selector, it's not the worst in the world.
Yeah.
The
The handbrake.
handbrake is still manual, which is like, there might be 10 cars on sale that have manual handbrakes
Not
still.
many cars left. Not many cars
You have an older styled instrument cluster, which isn't a huge complaint if you look at things like a Mahindra Scorpio N or a Suzuki
MUX.
MUX, which we have both tested.
Yes.
So go and check those videos out. They are good videos, and you can see the comparison between this and those. Now, one was used and one is quite a lot cheaper. They both are actually quite a lot cheaper than this.
But in terms of like the range, they're pretty much
They're
kind of
pretty
the same.
They're pretty much similar in terms of offering,
Yes.
more or less. And this feels a bit more outdated than the Mahindra did in terms of its infotainment system specifically. But again, this dashboard, your driver's clocks here are quite old.
It is quite old, and this infotainment is so old. It is so
It's a JBL
old.
system. The JBL sound system is pretty good in the car. I really don't mind the JBL sound system.
It's okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad for what it is. Let's be honest, you're not really listening to music in this car. It's not like it's forte.
No.
So this is meant to go off-road, and that's what it's really, really good at.
Yes.
The JBL system, we're going to glance over that for the meantime.
Yeah.
And actually what is really nice, you have physical climate control. And that's one thing that I like that they've kept from the past.
At least.
Is physical climate control, and then also physical buttons on the steering wheel. And the steering wheel might be my favorite part of the car.
I think so as well, because you also get your noon marker right
You have
there.
a red noon marker, red stitching. It is a perforated leather, and you have Lexus flappy pedals.
They do feel quite good. I'm not
They
gonna
feel
lie.
quite nice.
I
Better
thought-
than VW product.
Because you expect most manufacturers that make normal cars just to cheapen out, but they actually did do a good job with their pedal shifters.
And one last thing in the front end that I really like about the car is actually the pedals of the car. They are steel with rubber, so it's really nice grip for your shoes on them, whatever shoes you want to wear.
Mhm.
If you want to wear sandals, as I know a lot of these buyers wear sandals when they
Quite
buy
a-
these cars,
Quite a lot of sandal
or
buyers.
farmer shoes.
Mhm.
I'm just teasing, guys.
Yeah.
But any shoe you wear actually works really nice with this, and I just find that this is quite ergonomic to use. from a steering wheel functional point. This though is a bit.
I'm angered by this because for R1,000,000, this is just not acceptable. I'm sorry. It's not acceptable for R1,000,000. It's just not.
Coming to the rear end of the Fortuner, there is a lot to like. Starting off with these seats, you've got this leather with the red stitch over here. You've got this perforated suede in the center, just like you do in the front. There's quite a bit of space here. You've got good leg room. You've got decent headroom. I feel like there could be more headroom for the car that it is, but they've made it so that it goes like this at the top, so that you got more headroom when you're sitting here. If you're in the center, you actually have less headroom though. You do have your own vents over here, which can be controlled from the top here, and you actually have 2 USB-C charging points here, which you do not have in the front. Just like you don't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto that is wireless, you have to have it wired.
Now that we're back here, we have to check out how practical it is. Now, compared to the Scorpio N, the Fortuner has this much, while the Scorpio has this much. And compared to the Isuzu MU-X that we did, the MU-X has about this much. Now back here you can see there's quite a lot of stuff in here, including our kit bag. And one interesting thing is, compared to most other SUVs, the rear seats actually fold up and to the side. The SUVs where they fold downwards, this actually lowers your boot height, which makes it easier to load stuff in.
Taking a look under this heavy bonnet, we have to see, has the GR Sport elements trickled down into the engine of the GR Sport Fortuner? And you'd be happy to know that it has. This has a 15 kilowatts and 50 newton meter of torque upgrade from the standard Fortuner, giving this 165 kilowatts and 550 newton meters from its trusty 2.8 GD6, which makes it more powerful and torquey than both the top of the range MU-X and Scorpio N. But is the 2.8 GD6 out of date now?
So after this splendid day, is this a GR product though?
And does it deserve the GR Sport nameplate that it bears? We want to know, so let us know down below in the comments. What's your thoughts? What's your opinion? Does it deserve the nameplate?
Now, there are some key elements, namely the spoiler,
Of which it needs because of its power upgrade, and the diffuser.
which is on the bumper but not underneath the bumper, so I don't understand.
But we'll look over that for the meantime.
Yes, we'll glaze over that.
We'll glaze over that. You do have the added exterior components of the car, the nice wheels, but I think that they went a bit soft with the design actually. They
Same.
could have done more. I mean, look at the GR Sport Hilux. Or are they just leaving some space for future Fortuner GRs to get wide arches, knobbly tires, and a Dakar V6 diesel?
Please, Toyota, please put a V6 in this car. We know it might not happen, but we just like to dream.
Now, the only other thing that I think it should have done to go to the R1,000,000 price tag, to be worthy of the R1,000,000 price tag and the GR Sport, is to have a more refreshed interior.
This interior is too old. It's too old, especially for the price tag this car is at. There's just some parts which is just not acceptable.
And if you want to see what's not really acceptable, the good, the bad, and the ugly, be sure to stay tuned for our short 3-minute review where we go over some of the things we like and we don't like about this car that were not mentioned in this video.
There'll be some stuff that I will say that I will probably get convicted for, but stay tuned for that one. But thanks again to Toyota Honeydew for giving us this lovely GR